Good evening, you're on with Big J. You know what time it is. Let's talk. I'll be right back. We have some great content to discuss tonight, and I really need your opinion because your opinion does matter. All right, you're back. I really need your comments on this one. I've been doing this one for about 3 weeks. We saw what happened with Rappaport and Kevin Durant. Now we see what happens with Paul Pierce. And I'm about to show you a video that's truly amazing. Being 57 years old, when I grew up in the era of beepers, but we didn't have cell phones. But everything now is a cell phone. And athletes are driven by their cell phone. And I believe it's through the application of social media that they're finding this fixation to need to talk with the fans and to be a part of the fan base, because I feel that they are still connected in that area. Watch the video. You tell me what you think. These are my opinions. All right, I'll be right back.
Thank you. Joining us now, Dr. Tiff, mental performance consultant. Thank you for joining us. I want to know, how do you see that social media is impacting these individual pro athletes today?
Well, I think the very first thing is the interpersonal skills, because they are always on their devices. Everything is about what they're reading, what they're seeing, what they're hearing right at their fingertips. And therefore, there's not a lot of self-awareness. They come right out of games, they instantly get on their cell phones, and they're instantly reading what people have to say about them. Back in the day, when I played, you had to wait in line for the payphone. And by the time you got up to the payphone, you were like, I don't know, I think this is really about me. I think I need to go figure some things out for myself. And you looked in the mirror and you made the changes. And so those interpersonal skills and the self-awareness, they're really struggling with that.
And while you were waiting in line, you were talking to a real person, face-to-face, creating a bond. We're seeing today, like, these athletes, they can't focus. They can't have those conversations face-to-face, like you mentioned. They can't cope properly with criticism they see on social media. What do you tell those athletes who may be struggling, feeling that anxiety?
Well, first, why are you feeling anxiety? You won't feel anxiety unless you're thinking things. So what are you actually thinking? What is really bothering you? And sometimes it's journaling and just getting it out of your head, because staying inside of your head is never a good place to be by yourself. And so once they identify what is it, it's finding that very small niche. I call it your box. Who is in your box? Whose opinions really matter? And just staying true to that and listening to them, but really looking in the mirror and saying, who am I and what am I about? And just really finding that identity and sticking and holding true to that.
You know, we're seeing some recent examples where athletes can't seem to step away from their cell phones. Just recently in the NBA, 2 Philadelphia Sixers players, Joel Embiid, Amir Johnson, spotted on the bench during a playoff game looking at a cell phone. Johnson later did say that his daughter wasn't feeling well. Still, that cell phone was there during a game. You have the NFL's Arizona Cardinals' new head coach, Cliff Kingsbury. He is implementing cell phone breaks during meetings. He says, quote, you start to see kind of hands twitching and legs shaking, and you know they need to get that social media fix. So we'll let them hop over there and then get back.
Joined now by someone who's witnessed the advent and the rise of social media on the sports landscape, an 8-time NBA All-Star, Vince Carter. Vince, you're the oldest player in the league now at 42, almost 43. Paint a picture for us. What is it like in an NBA locker room with the young players in particular spending so much time looking at their phones, obsessing over their @mentions?
It's a roller coaster. It's an emotional roller coaster, and I think it depends on how things go. Obviously, game by game, week by week, month by month. I mean, you're entitled to have a rough night, rough quarter, rough half, rough game. But I think sometimes I throw myself in the fire, but we as athletes have social media at our fingertips at any time. And of course, if you're playing well, you go look at your mentions. If you're not playing so well, sometimes you look at your mentions, and now you have a diehard fan, an opponent's fan, saying whatever they want. And sometimes we tend to get caught up in what's being said from that person and feel like we have to prove to them going into the second half.
I mean, that's remarkable, Vince. I mean, you and I have talked about this before. You're saying players are looking at their phones at halftime and they're taking to heart criticisms they see on social media. That can't be
From
good.
someone who's sitting at home.
Right. I mean,
No.
but you're saying that really happens all the time.
Yes, of course. It's been like that for a while. And it's tough for someone like myself or guys who's been in the NBA prior to social media being a thing, because, I mean, it wasn't a thing. So we didn't have to worry about the outside noise. And, you know, now we're so accessible to all of these outlets at the click of a button. Turn on your phone, tap, and then there it is. And, you know, so it's, for me, I you know, it's not something I worry about. I even look at, you know, I've just been accustomed to, so for so many years, kind of once game starts, outside of checking on family, friends, making sure they're okay, and getting to the arena, getting their seats, blah, blah, blah. That's really the last time I kind of look at my phone, unless it's a situation I need to check at halftime. But like, it's a real thing, and you know, I've over the years, it's been a concern for some organizations, and you know, we try to kind of speak up on it and just tell guys, hey, you know, focus on the game.
If you were commissioner for a day, what would you do? What would you mandate on the subject of social media? I mean, it seems insane that players are looking at their phones at halftime.
Me personally, I mean, and I know it kills guys to not have that phone and not have the access and look at it, you know, and it's tough to kind of tell a guy not to be on your phone at halftime because of, like I said, those situations where, emergency situations where you know, family member. But I've been on teams where right before your meetings or once your meetings start, that's the last time you look at your phones. I mean, guys tend to real quick, and you know, that's okay. But like 40 minutes probably before the game is usually,
Now you understand what I'm talking about. And because of the distractions and the things that are going on, individuals being destroyed, being fired, Paul Pierce, and they say he's married, which is none of my business, but for social media to post and to blast that everywhere, he gave it a voice through being on there. See, this is what I'm saying. Individuals 20 or 30 years ago didn't put everything out to the media. Like I said on one of my other videos, Wilt Chamberlain in his book, after he retires, writes that he slept with 20,000 women. Could you imagine if he would have made that comment in a social media on Instagram or Twitter? What would have happened? So do you see what I'm saying? Let me hear from you. I want to hear your expression. What do you think? Do you think that social media is causing a demise within professional sports and its athletes? Let us know what you think. We definitely want to hear it because you matter, and we want to hear your opinion because we value what matters. Thank you for being on with Big J again. We appreciate your likes, your comments. We appreciate those who have subscribed to our channel. Have a great day. God bless you.